この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Onimonogatari. Last time we did Otorimonogatari. I've already seen some comments rolling in telling me that I should have watched Hana first. Okay. So it doesn't really matter. We're gonna watch Onimonogatari. I know that sometimes there are puns in these titles, but I think this one is straightforward, and it is just Oni as in demon or devil. And so this would be Demon Tale or Demon Story. Okay. And from the preview thingy in the last episode, I believe that this arc is called Shinobu Time. Interesting thing about this title, the last major arc we had that heavily featured Shinobu was time travel related. So I get the feeling we might be back to time travel related stuff. It also seemed that Shinobu was the main catalyst for doing the time travel. So maybe Shinobu Time is Shinobu going and time traveling on her own for funsies and stuff. I don't know. I would be super mega ultra hyped if this arc happens to be from Shinobu's perspective. That would be really, really, really cool because we haven't really had anything from her perspective, and that would be really interesting. A lot of these second season arcs so far have been from the perspective of not Araragi, which is interesting and a very different way of examining these characters, and Shinobu is one of the most pivotal characters in the series. Would be a really interesting viewpoint, especially considering that she's a multi-100-year-old super powerful, was super powerful vampire lady. Okay. Other things. We know that at some point Shinobu will go from current form to mid-adolescent form. She looks like she's 16 or older in the form that we saw her at the very end of Otori, which I assume is the events that are going to take place in Hana. So at some point she needs to change form. Don't know how, don't know why, but needs to happen. Other than that, I really have no information going in. Demon Tale, Shinobu Time. That's all I got. Okay, let's watch the first episode, get ourselves some more information, and figure out what the hell we're watching, shall we? I have episode 1 of Onimonogatari up and ready to go. It is at 0 seconds. I forgot to switch the subtitle track. Let me do that. I'm switching the subtitle track. It is set to Cool Girls. We're good to go. Just for consistency's sake. And yeah, we are ready to roll. So there will be 2 versions of this reaction video. One version will be picture-in-picture with the video up there, and you can find it in the description. And then the other version will be timer-based. You're watching it right now. It'll be up on YouTube. The picture-in-picture version won't have any discussion. It'll just be the episode watching portions for however many episodes I watch. There are 4 total. We'll either do 2 or we'll do all 4. It'll be one or the other. We'll see once we get to 2. If we do decide to do all 4, I will take a break in between and get some food, because that worked pretty well in the last video. Oh yeah, time-based version up on YouTube will have discussion at the end of each episode. Anything I want to talk about, anything that I want to run through or look at a second time, will all be there. So stick around for that, or switch between them, whatever you want to do. Okay. And then at the beginning of each episode in the timer-based version, there will be a beep beep timer in case you want to sync up with your own version of the media. And if you do, get it ready, because the timer for episode 1 is coming right now. Okay. Is that Ogi? Yep. Uh-huh. So it seems like we're still from Aragi perspective. Yes. Empire Past things included. Okay. As a result. Okay. Right. Is she riding a cow? A tale from her past? Let's rewind her. Whoa. We're gonna tell a story from 400 years ago? Also, why are we showing Oshino Ogi so much? Alright, we're meeting with her. Or him? Or is that... I don't know. Okay. I want you to think about it. Let us begin. What? Oh, this is cool. Epic dramatic music, 10 hours, royalty free. Oh, wow. Was that the shrine? Okay, I'm really excited now. 21st of August. Okay. Very common, yes. Totally normal. Right. Right. Mm-hmm. 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 And it had repercussions, too. You used up all the energy in the place. Okay. Nope. But okay. It would be. Yeah. We're setting this up as more of a thematic thing. But there's also the shell as a home. Ha. Clever girl. All right, we got it. All right. No more than usual. How about some ghost donuts? Kind of sad. Huh? Huh? Uh? It's a mystery. Okay. Can't know what you don't know. Darkness. Okay, a terrible premonition. Wonder if it's Ogi related. Is Shinobu in your shadow right now? Focusing on the shadows a lot. Just getting away. Get away. Is she gone? No, she's there. Okay. Uh-huh. How can it look? Just ominous and oppressed in the... That is so weird. Oh, you can see in the mirror? Older version only had one, right? Uh-huh. That's a new one. Koyomi monologue thoughts. I foundered. Oh. Red and green. I have to rescue this girl. Unlimited rulebook. That's what I was thinking. I guess not. Seems to be okay. You helped? Yeah, me neither. Go about what? Hmm. Okay, let's go. Okay. Alright, really? Gotta check. Bye. Okay. Ha. Hmm. Hmm. She's so weird. It's very similar to the previous reversal. Right. Just your average semi-vampire thing. Mm-hmm. I'm sure it's something beyond that. Like a shadow. Which would also explain why going vertically would change things. Did it start until after he brought the bag out? Okay. No, I need Shinobu. Yeah. But what if it's something else? What if it is just a shadow attached to some other aberration? Oh, she hasn't met Hanakawa. No, she doesn't. But that's what I want. Don't gouge out Nab. No. Mm. Alrighty. Yeah, but. Rarirurero. Kakiku keko. There's been a lot of whoosh in this conversation. Wait. Is that the whole? Oh, okay. There are 6 minutes left. I was like, that was way sooner. This is the same room as the Nautico room, isn't it? And that's Hachikuji and Shinobu. Yeah, Hachikuji stuff. Looks like stop motion back there. Hi, Shinobu. Indeed, as usual. Hmm. Spot on. Hmm. 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 Oh, this is terrifying. Yeah. Darkness. Oh, Jesus. Uh, uh, okay, that's the thing that just happened. uh, mm-hmm. You know what kind of aberration that is, don't you? Okay. Okay. Oh, so that's okay. Full 400. Oh. So has this whole episode just been the framing device for that story? Thus it begins, late as it may be. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, before anything else, I want to go to this ending section and find the cards, because the cards that appeared in this ending section post OP or post ED were like really fast and large amounts of text, and they were used to be portions of the conversation, I think. So we're just gonna run through it. I am still using VLC. I had some problems with MPC when I was getting ready to record, so we're just gonna use VLC and have to deal with the shittiness of it. They broke completely. Midsummer Adventure was oh my god. Alright, give me a minute. I'm gonna try and make it NPC work. So I got NPC to record properly. The thing was, somebody recommended that I use, if I was gonna use NPC, that I use the MadVR plugin. The problem is that when you use the MadVR renderer, OBS doesn't pick up on it. Or any hardware accelerated renderer. There's probably a way to make it happen, but I couldn't. So we want to get past the kiss. Oof. And the main thing is just that the subtitles render even at higher speeds or during frame by frames. But they are being weird still. I just want to read this text, man. I just want to read this text, man. Something, you must be stupid. You're only a vampire, so you can't die. What are we gonna do with you? I don't know why this is being weird. But something bone by a young girl. Okay, now they seem to be right. Midsummer Adventure was completely another pointless. The whole volume on their nose. Okay. Detested to the bone is a rare. Okay. Cool. Went home with her so I could return her backpack. Oh, wow. Yeah, see, that's like. That's a weird translation. Like, Cool Girls, in a friendly, very friendly manner, makes a lot of sense here because he's trying to downplay any relation-y thing that they did because she just got pissed about him kissing her. Or kissing Ononoki. Okay, and then there was another one here. Haven't laid a finger on Hachikuji's backpack since she forgot it at my place yesterday. I might have been called blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't put my hands on a girl's private property. Okay. A gentleman, a caballero, I say. All right, dude. I'm a vampire, so I don't need to be all that regular with my food intake. Ah, okay. It might not be such a bad idea to have lunch. Right. So the darkness is not an aberration itself. And this seems to sort of clarify what we're talking about when we say Shinobu time. Shinobu's time, perhaps. Interesting. Okay, so first thing that we see, I believe the first character that appears on screen here is Oshino Ogi, which is an interesting thing. Keeps popping in these arcs recently and not doing much, but being ominous. And we had a statement made that something about something was like all according to her plan, maybe. Okay. And we showed Demon like juxtaposed with those cuts. And then to Oshino Shinobu. Above all else, she is my salvation. That's interesting. Like a chain of saviors. Rewind her clock, more to the story. So all of this stuff at the beginning seems to frame this arc as a story from 400 years ago, but everything we've seen thus far has been in the present. We're meeting with Oshino Ogi. For what reason, I don't know. And we get this OP. And it's pretty cool. I like the animation in this whole thing. It's pretty dope. Alright, then we recap. We've got the time travel as our like introduction to stuff. And then we're continuing along this idea and following. It's like Hachikuji not having her bag is a major catalyst for something. And it seemed to me that the darkness only started chasing them once the bag was out of the house. So there's something there, but I don't know what. And then the fact that she lost one of her ribbons or her antenna, and that we see future Hachikuji with only the one tail, makes me think that like maybe we're figuring out how that timeline came to be, but that doesn't make any sense either because we've already prevented that. And then this idea of slug and snail regression without the shell. Both terrestrial mollusks, unlike snail slugs, are considered stereotypically disgusting, a pitiless being. Right. So this seems to me like one of those conversations that's completely unrelated to everything, but at the same time is entirely related to everything. Something about Hachikuji and Shell. We've talked before about it being like the home she carries with her and stuff like that. So maybe there's an element to that here. I'm not going to be super hardcore on that right now, though, because I don't think this is a Hachikuji-focused arc. It does seem to be much more Shinobu-focused, with just Hachikuji as a lead-in. We talk about food. Hello? Yes, okay. Back a few frames. Witnessed it. And we open slowly with the darkness filling things up. Do a full palette swap. Look over. They both notice it and recognize it. It was a mystery. Or well, I could not answer. Not one that we or well, I could not could answer. Huh, okay. Okay. Does that imply that Hachikuji could have? I don't think so. Couldn't see it at all. Then we go deep into this idea of if you can't visually recognize something, it doesn't exist to you. You can't admit the perception that you can't see. Something you perceive cannot exist. Such logic stands. I want to read that entire section in the Kami subs. Because, you know, I can do that. And getting two different interpretations of what this says might be helpful. It was a mystery. Mystery. Even the question of blah, blah, blah. Okay. And again, we've got oddity instead of aberration. I couldn't identify what it was. After all, I couldn't see it. I don't mean to say it was transparent, because not being able to visually confirm its presence means you can't acknowledge the fact that you can't see it. Okay. You don't even realize that you can't see it. In other words, that means it's not there. If you can't recognize it, it doesn't exist. That's the conclusion that the human mind comes to. As long as you believe that you should be able to see it. I do want to see those flashes. Okay. I could recognize that which I could not see. That means... Wait, what? Okay, let's switch back to Cold Girls. Just for funsies. Can't admit the perception that you can't see it. You can't realize that you can't see. In other words, it doesn't exist. Yeah, they're pretty much about the same. Something you can't perceive cannot exist. In this case, I was able to perceive this invisible thing. The fact that I could perceive what I couldn't see was because the darkness was right there. All right, that's pretty weird. I'm going to reduce our speed to normal. Roiling darkness and redness. That's a cool gradient that they put on everything. That's really nice. Then we've got what appear to be like chemical compounds. Yeah. Intuition, instinct, terrible premonition, and off we go. Gotta get the hell away. It's like it's there before you know it. Like it's close to us, but also not that far away. And every time we have these shots, like we're focusing heavily on the shadows beneath them. Really making me think that this darkness is like the shadow of an aberration that's following them around for some reason. But what kind of aberration? I don't know. And if Shinobu has had experience with it before, she said she got entangled in it. Interesting. Reluctantly, I presume, clung to my back. Push those breasts into me with more rotation. Yeah, feeling oppressed. Little joke there. Now it's a bus ramp. Darkness. And then we happen to run into Ononoki, but she is not going to save them. She says, but then she actually kind of does. And it does not follow them once they go vertically, which again makes me think shadow, because it seems to be locked to the ground. The first thing that I really think of is that one angel, you know? The one that's a sphere, but really it's just a reflection of a shadow. Rules with many exceptions. Pointing at things fulfills its requirements. Oh, I have first-hand experience of its power. Oh, okay. Yeah, a little bit of extra motion there. Come on, man. You fucking pervert. The muscles thing. If it really is darkness, if it really is an aberration, we don't know, we don't know. We'll have to wait for Shinobu to wake up. And then the kiss, and we open, and it's the same room as the Nadeko OP that we just had for Otori, but it's Shinobu and Hachikuji. All right, well, let's find out. Let's go ahead and hop into episode 2 and find out whether this story is set in present time or if what we've got so far is our framing device for Shinobu to tell us the tale, which we will then at the end use to figure out. We'll come back to the beginning, you know? I would love to hear a story of Shinobu from 400 years ago. That sounds amazing. So let's find out. Since I'm already set up to use NPC, we will continue using NPC, and I'll open episode 2 in it. Give me just a second. I'm going to do a resync, make sure we're all synced up and good to go, and then we'll be back for episode 2 of Oni. Okay? Okay. All right, we're all synced up and ready to go. I have episode 2 of Onimonogatari up and ready to go, and beep beep timer goes here. Okay, I got like 20 seconds in, and then I messed up, and the video froze for a second, so the timer would be off. So we're gonna redo the first like 20 seconds. Timer goes here. So I saw this part. The warning. First time that she made a minion. Don't be jealous. Started at the South Pole. No food. Wow, that's cool. This whole style is super cool. Ha 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 ha. Oh, whoa. Oh, yeah, alright. That's dope. But you landed in Japan. That skull, though. The story of a good-for-nothing demon. This is the most unique OP that we've had so far, I think, and it's pretty awesome. Regrets never lie. I think the biggest mystery is, what is the darkness thing? What is it a result of? I feel like that's the key to unlocking this puzzle. We'll have to see. Onimonogatari. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Hmm. But that would mean more belief in you, right? More power. Shinobu the God. Or should I say Kishot the God? Hmm. That's a goddess. What else? What else could it be? Yeah. And made it rain. However. Because I've met you. A vampire fixated on being a demon? Must be nice. Playing the role, huh? Huh. This is fascinating. It's really just like listening to a storyteller. And it happens to be Shinobu. Right, because you are a result of perceptions and belief becomes your reality. Ah. The first. So he was fighting demons. Aberrations. Oh. Was he an Oshino? Bullshit. Kaikoroshi? He would have no reason to believe otherwise, yeah. You were an ally. Or just a curiosity. What's the deal with the smaller one? A replica of it. Dreamspan. That's new. Yeah. The what? Okay, that's a huge setup. That's a big Chekhov's katana right there. And very godlike. The ability to give and take away life. You pulled other aberrations to you, right? Yeah. Stand users are drawn to one another. Like we saw at the shrine. Hmm. No people at all, which means no one to believe. That's a problem. Yeah. Wow. Hmm. Just knowledge or belief. Oh? So they were already released somewhere. Through aberrations? Or is this the emergence of the darkness? The inability to perceive anything. Hmm. Yeah, but aberration killer? Delicately heartbroken. Does that have something to do with it? The real problem. Okay. So what is it? Is it just a like a black hole made of all of that negative energy? Wow, I want to see that whole side by side, like spread out panorama. Wow, and the legs taking form. This whole traditional scroll as a storytelling method is amazing. Yeah. Yeah, how did he end up becoming your minion? So you vampirified that portion? Alright, Yoshikage. So you vampirified his hand and wrist and then rebuilt him? To fear? Yeah. We've talked about that before. Wow. Still, yeah, solid minutes left. But an empty chair. Wow. The way you did me. Yeah. Hmm. Makes sense. Us being humanity? It's possible. What if it is? What if it was like a result of the things gathering, the energy gathering? You underestimated. Oh. Replica. But the other one? It's tragic. All right, so far this has been by far the most unique part that we've gotten. Uh first and foremost because of the style of the whole thing, told in these semi-animated long scrolls that go by at their own rate, but primarily built for, I mean, just to be a vehicle for Shinobu to tell us her story. And it's, oh, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. I want to look up what those scrolls are called. Japanese story scrolls. Illustrated scrolls. Emaki. Emakimono. Picture scrolls, yeah. Produced since the 10th century, an almost cinematic experience as the viewer scrolls through a narrative from right to left, rolling out one segment with his left hand as he re-rolls the right-hand portion, rolling through it. And that's precisely the experience that we get here, but in a visual digital medium, and with the ability to create these amazing parallax effects with different layers. All of the art here is really striking. A lot of it almost religious in nature, which is quite fitting. With the, well, there is a religious nature to the story. It's the story of how she became and then fell from being from godhood. Then there's this setup of the large and the small katana. Heartspan we knew of. I wasn't aware that it's a replica. But the smaller blade, Dreamspan, a blade that seems to have the reverse effect to bring an aberration back to life. That's interesting, and she doesn't mention a replica being created, and there would have been no reason to if the intent was to kill her. So, has Dreamspan been lost? I have to assume, given the setup, that will come into play at some point. Because that sounds incredibly useful, potentially. Potentially. So, he was the original aberration killer, and we're not allowed to know his name. She says rather flippantly that she doesn't care much or often forgets, like, proper names for humans. But I think the implication is that he's of the family line of Oshino. That's just a guess, kind of an out there guess, but a guess nonetheless. Just gonna throw that out there. Another thing that I'm gonna throw out there is that the darkness seems to me to be caused by Shinobu's presence, or in this case, Kishot's presence in that area. Something to do with the gathering and the gathering of evil energy or resentful energy or whatever you want to call it. Like gathers enough until it reaches a certain mass or volume, and then pop, it becomes not even an aberration, but like a ball of that resentful energy. But I don't know. Yeah, the fact that nothing had built up was abnormal. That's what makes me think that way. Found the last house was deserted. Yeah, this scene, I would love to find this, but like the whole thing mirrored on the sides, side to side. Maybe make it a double panel desktop wallpaper. That could be good. That could be good. If anybody knows if that exists and somebody's already made it, let me know, please, because I would love it. So she tells us her little story of how she revives and creates her first minion, and the story afterward of how he resented her for it, and how he chose to die rather than remain. All in all, this is just fascinating. It doesn't even feel like there's that much of a mystery element going on here, or that much to discover. I'm just extremely engaged by the method and manner and visuals of this storytelling. It's kind of amazing. It kind of reminds me of watching Rakugo and becoming enthralled in the performances within the performance, or the play within the play. Really cool. And I think that some of the art in some of these panels are really incredible. Like halfway between like a wood block print and a classical Japanese emaki, but also like elements of really interesting modern design and fascinating use of bombastic color, like this right here, and the way that all of the layers are parallaxing creates this incredible depth to what is otherwise like just flat layers and simple ones. Just, that's so cool. And it gains so much more depth when it moves. It's got like a timelessness to the aesthetic. It's just really cool. Just really cool. Yeah, the fact that she won't disclose the first name, there's something to that, I think. I think. But I also have a feeling that we will never have that actually revealed. So this has been a rather low discussion part so far. And that, frankly, that could be just that I'm missing all the important stuff because I'm stupid. It happens, but so far it's been rather straightforward. A story within a story, a tale told by Shinobu, experienced by us through Araragi's perspective. It's fleshing out a portion of her backstory that we were aware of, but I was never really that curious about. Like, okay, maybe we'll get more information on that at some point. Now we need it. We need it to solve the mystery of the present, which is what is this darkness thing and how do we deal with it? The fact that we see Oshino at the beginning, the fact that we run into Ononoki. I feel like I'm thinking too far into it. Kind of like I did with Kabuki, you know? Like I'm trying to expect that there's more here than there really is. And I think that this is just a framing device and a simple but really interesting story of Shinobu with an air of past tragedy to it that does raise some questions on its own, but is also just enthralling. Very cool. Very cool. So they said that the curtain closes on that story. So I wonder if we're done with that form of storytelling and just going to remain in the present and deal with the present problems. I don't know. So, given that we're only about an hour and 25 minutes into recording, which is not bad at all, I'm going to take a quick break, grab myself a couple of bites to eat, grab some water, cool down the room a little bit. Just take a quick break so that I can come back in like 20 minutes, fresh and ready to go to watch episodes 3 and 4. Okay? So, this will take no time for you, but I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Alrighty, we are back for the second half of this recording. I took myself a little break, grabbed some lunch, cooled off the room very slightly, but, you know, any little bit makes a difference, and feeling refreshed and ready to go. So let's go ahead and hop on into episode 3 of Otori. I'm sorry, I said Otori before as well. I meant Oni, obviously. Onimonogatari. We're going to go ahead and jump into episode 3. Shinobu, we did say something about, like, the curtain closing on that part of the story, so I'm thinking maybe we just go from there and use whatever we may have extracted information-wise from that piece to move into maybe some more standard, like, mostly in current time frame stuff. We got a darkness to defeat, or do whatever we need to do to make it go away, or find out what it is, and assuage our fears about it. However this plays out, it's gonna play out soon. Let's find out. So I've got it up. It's ready. Picture-in-picture version, timer version. You know what you're doing. Okay, timer version. People, get ready because the timer's coming right now. We're on chapter 22. Right. We just know that it's been around for a long time. And that potentially it still contains 3/4 of old Kishot? Okay. But how do you strike against darkness? Okay. Unreliability from Shinobu is definitely possible. Please do. Lots of talking involved. Uh-huh. Thanks. Guys, ladies, please. Hmm? Mm-hmm. Hmm? She brings up a really good point. We don't know whether Shinobu omitted anything or lied outright about anything. There were a couple of moments where she like glanced to the side during her storytelling. Regrets never lie. Hmm. Hmm. So those were Hachikuji, Ononoki, somebody, and then Gaien, right? Uh, Full Nelson. You got me. Oh, okay. You don't got me. 3 girls. Nirvana, have I died? Yeah. And they both just kissed him. Or were kissed by him. Well, Shinobu. But also, no. Impossible. Okay. At least you got taste. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, can I not? Yeah. You mean instead of that? Pew! Stick the landing. And she still got the one hair. Yep. Getchy. Here we go. Still be fine. Look like Mozart to my eyes. Harm. All three, eh? The examination, eh? Yeah. Oh, she's got her twin tail back. Wait, where did it come from? Oh? The darkness? Ah, okay. Nah, that's not his style. Mmm. Mmm. Some divine punishment? Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That would be Shinobu. Little foot. Probably. I don't know what that was. Yeah. Call her aberration killer. Alright, that's gonna get confusing. Something about despair and it only grows? Okay, because it is not an aberration. So what is it? Okay. However, can you deal with it? It's a mystery. Ooh. Oh. She does. She she does. Is it here? It's here. Hachikuchi Moyoe Oshino Shinobu. Yeah. Afraid. We let our guard down. Run away, but how? I void. Make it so it comes in my direction. She must survive. Lift off, let's go. I'm just grabbing what I can. So that's just jumping again, right? Where's the thing that should be attached to that backpack? Shinobu's in the shadow, right? Well done. Okay. 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 Bruh. Bruh. Yeah, where are we? Is this a dam? Gaian. Mm-hmm. And with Kaiki, right? Makes sense, but difficult. Doshite? Okay. Okay. Is she there? You could never be apart. This is strange upon reflection, but it's night and she's not out. Yeah, but still, something's weirder. Is she elsewhere in time? That's the only thought I have. I don't think she could. The only way to get her out. With tongue. No matter what. Don't wanna. Hi, volunteer as tribute. Wait, no. Mm-hmm. Got any info? She's been swallowed? But she's not dead, because he would be, right? Right. Oh. Point. Okay. Point taken. Shit. Yeah, the way the backgrounds are freaking out. Yeah, but where and how? I want to apologize. How dare it do that to her? Why not? Oh. That's why he passed out, so another one might kill him. Okay. So we're in a dangerous spot right now. Hmm. But they are kind of one and the same thing. So you're only mildly immortal. Good question. Right. All right then. Are we at the shrine? Or near it? Okay. Don't want to make any of them worry. Hmm. Hmm. Dangerous to create pattern. Mm-hmm. Indeed. I wonder whose house this is. Yeah, we just want to use your phone. Just happens to be the person we're looking for. Fucking what? Yep. Yep. Okay. That seems a little bit like a coincidence. Okay. Want to be deceived by a lie. This is a bit different, isn't it? Yeah. Ramoon and donuts. And red. And I'm going to assume we have a number of... No, we only have the preview at the end. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we should touch it. It is. Hey, yeah, that would be great. They do? What a shitty pun. Okay. The interactions between Ononoki and Shinobu are fantastic. I really like them. This whole sequence where he realizes that he's surrounded by 3 cute girls who I believe are all like 12 or 12 adjacent in terms of their physical form. Pretty hilarious. A very classic, thank God Hachikuji's okay moment. Lots and lots of callbacks. And then they're the ones who totally beat him down and then try to force him to choose which one of them is best. Literally has a best girl conversation within the context of the story. and then Ononoki starts calling Shinobu Aberration Killer, which is slightly confusing, but that's okay. And then our next mission is to go and find Gaia Nizuku, the woman who knows everything. So I suppose the coincidence that she would be there would be not that much of a coincidence, because she would know that they would be looking for her at that moment and that they would end up at that house. So she would just arrange it to ensure that she met with them, right? Assuming that she wanted to. Okay. This environment is strange. I guess it doesn't really matter where we ended up. But we did end up here. Hachikuji is here. He can see her, so Shinobu's not dead. But Shinobu is gone. So at some point, the shadow, or the darkness crossed over his shadow, and she went poof. We can never be apart. However, this is strange. It's night. She's not up. What the hell? It's not just because she hates Ononoki. There is something else going on. And he comes to a very Araragi conclusion. The only way to get her out is to kiss somebody. Alright, well, you can be... Alright. And then during this conversation, the backgrounds are fuzzling. But I think it's because we're in this moment, remembering that moment in the cram school. Yeah, so that's the moment that it happened. And so the backgrounds aren't real, they're imagined, and that's why they end up shuddering and shaky, almost glitchy, because they're the haziness of memory. Which I guess could come into play here. Like, haziness of memory. Shinobu just told us a story from 400 years ago, and it was already implied that maybe she omitted something or forgot something in that story that might be important. So this would be another instance of imperfect memory. In any case, we've gone ahead. We've managed to run into Gaien, which means that answers should be forthcoming, right? If we're talking to the woman who knows everything, as long as she is amenable to helping us, then there's no reason she would keep any information from us. So we'll get our explanation of darkness, and if there is a way or a need to defeat it or whatever in order to get Shinobu out of there, then bada bing, bada boom. One thing I do wonder is, Shinobu said very clearly that, like, 3/4 of her was taken by darkness, right? Like a big chunk of Kishot was taken by that orb thing when she was swallowed up into it. Does that mean that that part of her is still, and has been for this entire time, remaining in there? And if so, will her re-entry into it, like, in the same way that, like, putting a drop of oil into water, where there are other little bits of oil, can help you collect it all at once, will it, like, cause the rest of her to glomp onto her? And will she emerge more than she came in with? That's my thought. But I don't know. I guess I'm ready to just ask the woman who knows everything and find out that way and just figure it out. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm going to take a quick moment to resync, and then I'll be right back. See ya in a flash. Okay, let's go ahead and hop on into the 4th and final episode of Onimonogatari. Beep beep timer goes here. This one's a couple minutes longer than they usually are. This one's 28 minutes and 18 seconds. She does not look happy. Please. Thank you, One-san. That was ominous. Where did that phone come from? Faith in her, eh? That shiver, though. No concrete information, catastrophic. Half vampire without his partner. Yeah, so lacking. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, the explanation part. Well, she knows you completely. It's in the description. Hmm. She said clairvoyance, but then she said that she had to do some research. So it's not as though she already has perfect knowledge of everything and is like a whatchamacallit's demon. She's not omniscient. That's interesting. Shinobu. Hachikuji somebody Gaien. Boss. Big boss. Okay, but since you do... Okay. Mm-hmm. Suddenly I do not trust her. No. No, not at all. Fair enough. To whom? Oh. 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 Yeah, but she wants an introduction. Maybe it would be awkward. Yeah, you have a habit of that. Okay. So you're not required to succeed, just to try. So you'll have to assist. Okay, we'll see how much that actually means. Oh. Oh, I see. So there's a practical reason as well. So she's also unable to predict, which again implies lack of omniscience. Hmm? Hmm. Okay then. Mm-hmm. Continuing to rush. Are we safe here? Fair enough. Buckle in. Okay. And we're framing the bag in frame. What's up with that? So it has to do with the lack of people around? Okay. It's Hachikuji, right? But not anymore. It was after the bag, right? Hachikuji Maoi. My absolute favorite ghost girl. Why? Because she was separated from the bag or something like that. Hmm. Okay. Something. Oh. So it's like a virus scan. And Hachikuji, who's become more normal? No, please. Go ahead. Becoming a god. So what did Hachikuji play? A sister? A girl? Allowing it. Okay. That she allowed them to delude themselves. Okay. And confirmed it. So what does Hachikuji have to do? Okay. You're a ghost, you don't need to sleep, do you? She just wants to stay. Can't she return to being just a ghost? Right, she has no reason to... She has no reason to remain. A lie, a contradiction. Yeah. She's been doing the opposite. And perception is everything when it comes to aberrations. Wow. That makes a lot of sense. What can we do about that? I think she does. You're being... Yeah. Which would mean it doesn't have a reason to attack. That's why it's the worst idea. Whoa. I love when all the weirdness falls into place and it kind of just makes sense. You're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Then what? Then you accept disappearing? You can't. Huh. She has to disappear. Hmm. No. Yeah, thanks. Which was joked about early on. There might not be a way, man. It's already on her face. Oh, you've been here the whole time. Isn't it all? Yeah. Reverse. But you have people you have to get back to. There are other people who rely on you. Can't be a Casanova. I'll hold you to that. Already let go. Hmm. Fuck you. Fuck you, show. I didn't ask for this. I know. And now the bed is gone and she's gone. No, she's there. Okay. Still 6 minutes left. And she's gone. 4 months later. Aha. Aha. Punchline for this episode, really? Okay, I wonder if we're gonna have that in the next arc. Regrets never lie, right? So we got Shinobu back? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is she the darkness? Ending what needs to be ended, punishing the liars? Wait, what? Wait, what? Hi. Do you though? Ah. We're going to war with Ogi? Testing the waters at least. Yeah. Which words? Ah. Anagram. Hitagi end? He, 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 Hitagi end? Okay. Well, shit. I fucking loved this arc. I hate that it ended the way it did. Because I loved Hachikuji too. I mean, everything clicked pretty quickly. Once it all made sense, but then, but then, not unjust, not absurd. An embodiment of the rules. One that punishes lies. And it's Hachikuji who's been the liar this whole time. Because she loves Araragi, of course she does. Because she stayed when her job was done, when it was solved the first arc. All a bonus stage. This whole sequence at the end. That moment where she just says, I just need to disappear. The solution is simple. That's the sound of my heart breaking. Thanks, Hachikuji. The way that Ononoki carries her on her shoulders so that she can kiss Araragi. All of it. The way that he, knowing that he doesn't have a choice, gets caught up in the bargaining, in the denial, in the possibility. Like, yeah, we could just, there's a way. I'll sacrifice everything and just for you. But she's made up her mind. And so she makes that sacrifice. Returns to what things should be. Ah. Ow. Ow. Nobody told me this would hurt. I'm glad they didn't, because then I would have expected it, and it wouldn't have hurt as much, and pain is sometimes good. But, like... it really hurt. And then... Ah! The story is really simple. Once you get it. But without that last piece to the puzzle, without it being almost a godlike rule following thing, you can't really put it together. But it all works. It started coming after her right then and there. Wouldn't follow when she was unconscious. Yeah. It all makes sense. And the reasons that it followed and then stopped following Shinobu makes sense. Simple arc, but damn, that hurt. Plus a lot of points to Hachikuji as a character. The whole multiple arcs that she's gone through have really made themselves known. They've had an impact. So, then, when we saw Oshino Ogi at the beginning, that was a framing for a retelling of the retelling. So we had Aragi telling her the story, or at the very least reminiscing on it as he tells her the story. We don't know how much information he actually gave her, because of the conversation he has with Shinobu a little bit later. Hachikuji made it happily to the afterlife, and then Ononoki-chan and I came back. There was some other way to go about it. It's almost like the story that's been told right now has been a lie. Like, this is an insane idea, and in fact, I had this for Kanata no Astras, but it works here. Let me just put on the tinfoil hat for a moment. Okay, let's get real crazy with the theory. Theory time. What if our experience of the last 4 episodes has been effectively Aragi telling this to Oshino Ogi, and he has not been truthful with her about all of it. Maybe truthful up to a point, but not right there at the end. Because the way that this conversation goes down, it's like he's apathetic, as though he's not quite telling the truth, perhaps, or just trying to slide a lie past. And then she's like immediately buying into it, like, oh, how horrible. Almost as though like the story is written or told by Araragi to be painful and horrible so that it won't be questioned. Like, oh yeah, you did the right thing. You probably did the right thing. Oh, no problem. Most sensible choice. That was a very good story for me to hear. Thank you very much, Araragi-senpai. And then he questions, what kind of work do you have to do? Ordinary work. Figuratively speaking, a very commonplace job like the overwhelming darkness that takes up most of the universe. The parallels in language here to the darkness that we've just been experiencing are striking. To the point where it makes me wonder if Oshino Ogi is a person, or some aberration, or something beyond an aberration, now that that idea has been made, an existence or an anti-existence. Correct the mistaken, end what needs to be ended, and punish Yeah, it's a job that punishes the liars, which is exactly the description that we got of the stay on tinfoil hat. I'm going to need you a little bit longer. Exactly the kind of description we had of the darkness. You'll know in due time, so please rest assured. Everyone just leaves me here and disappears. So then Shinobu comes out. I think you know this already, but that girl is probably something, in the same way that we put darkness in. Something. Yeah, true, she may be. Maybe. I wish I could know about everything. Do you, though? Do you? Usually omniscience comes with some problems. Alright, then we get some flashes. I just want to see those flashes. I give up where I should try to fight, and I've even stopped being sad about it, I think. Huh? Nothing I think about helps me. I gave up where I should try to fight, and I've even stopped being sad about it, I think. Okay. Was blabbing off to her part of your war plan? So we're going to war against Oshino Ogi. What happened in between? I need to know. Until there's some sort of result from it. Like feeding her some information. But let's at least try to pretend as if Hachikuji is... You know what? That actually kind of nixes that bullshit that I was... Alright, let's take this off. Fuck. Damn it, I was kind of holding out hope that maybe, given the line that Hachikuji says that's like, if you're ever in a pinch, I promise to come back. I was thinking like maybe they found a different solution to the problem, that the ending that we were given was the ending that was given to Oshino Ogi and was not true, and that Hachikuji still is somewhere and will come back to defeat something future helpful. I don't know. But this portion at the end where he's talking only to Shinobu and is clearly like admitting to himself that Hachikuji is not in town, she's gone. Shit. I gave myself false hope there for a minute. Damn it. Isn't that regretful attachment? If you keep telling lies like that, you'll be swallowed up by the darkness. That won't happen. And he walks back on the same path that he normally takes. But there is no Hachikuji there. What does that card say? The path I always use. Now empty of anybody I could meet. I never used those words with respect to my farewell. Sayonara, Hachikuji Mayoe. Sayonara. Damn. Damn. If you had told me during the original Mayoe Snail arc that I would be this attached to Hachikuji by now, I don't know if I'd believe you. But I am. And the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pain that I felt when she said, I just have to disappear. Damn. But it is as it should be, right? Even if it hurts, it's not like it's untimely, you know? If anything, as she says, they got more time than they should have. Wow. This was a cool arc. Half of it, a story within a story of Shinobu telling us a big chunk of her old backstory. All of it incredibly stylized with the scroll thing. And then the other half, pulling it all together into this kind of crazy supernatural mystery in a very classic Monogatari way, with a twist ending that isn't really so much a twist, but a key, right? It's not that the show twists itself. It gives you the tools to insert the key and twist and unlock an understanding. Actually, I really like that metaphor. I like that a lot. It seems as though often the last episode of each arc is a key that opens up the rest of it. That you just have to spend the 3 or 4 episodes before the last one building out the cabinet or the chest or the door or whatever it is. And then finally it gives you the piece that you need to unlock it and go, oh. And then, in part because of that, a lot of the emotions are just set up. And then it all pays off at once when everything clicks into place. And so you get this really, everything is just curious until it goes, oh, now I understand. And in this case, it was, well, loss, I think. That's how I experienced it, at least. But a bittersweet kind of loss, like it has to happen and it should happen. But in the same way that Araragi tries to prevent it, even irrationally, I didn't want it to happen. And yet it did. I mean, at the end there, when I threw the hat on and started theorizing, that was like me being Araragi in that moment, you know? When he's like, no, we could stay. It's like, no, there's a chance. Maybe it was all a lie. It's bullshit. Hachiku's not really gone. There's no way. She's here. I believe. I do believe in fairies. I do believe in fairies. But there's no place in this world for a ghost of a ghost. This world doesn't support such meta structures. Alright, Oisin. Alright, I see you. I see you getting meta about the fact that you get meta. Okay. Well, this was a weird and unique arc. I think I can say that I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you have too. We're gonna wrap it up. I've been Teeaboo. This has been Onimonogatari. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. And I hope to catch you next week in the next one. And that's where we end. See you there. Peace.